Welcome back to Pastry Maestra. I'm Teresa and today I'm making Greek yogurt and raspberry semifreddo. Today I'm making a delicious yet simple dessert that is composed of two main components. One is sablé cookie and another is semifreddo. Now, if you want to learn more about the history of semifreddo, check my post on that subject. The link is in the description below. But now I'll say a few words about sablé cookies. Naturally, as it is quite often the case, we don't know who invented those, nor when that happened. Some sources claim that the origin of sablé goes back to 17th century France, and the region in western France called Sablé-sur-Sarthe is responsible for the name of the sweet. On the other hand, there is a word in French, sablé, which means sand, and to me, that is more acceptable explanation, because this cookie really feels and looks sandy, so to speak. The texture is crumbly, it breaks easily, and also the color is the same. Naturally, every other resemblance stops there, because sablé cookie is indeed a very tasty sweet treat by itself. Now, in this video, we will be making, let's call it a basic sablé, because we need a solid yet relatively neutral base with a mild coconut aroma for our two semifreddos. But in the wonderful universe of sweetness, there are other sablés like sablé viennois, sablé breton, or sablé diamant, with their unique respective qualities. But more about that in some other video. Okay, back to the matter at hand. As you will see, this sweet is in many ways unique, if I may say so myself. It is extremely light, low-fat, immensely refreshing and easy to make. The Greek yogurt-raspberry combo is, in my mind, a match made in heaven, because the creamy, rich substance of Greek yogurt emphasizes the tangy flavor of raspberries. And that fusion is unbeatable, don't you agree? Something else, if you make a large batch, you will have a wonderful dessert handy at any time, day or night. All you need to do is take it out of the freezer, put it on sablé, or any other cookie for that matter, and enjoy. Isn't that great? Okay, I hope that you are ready to create some sweetness, because I know I am. Let's make Greek yogurt and raspberry semifreddo. As usual, the recipe is on my site, the link is down below. To make my Greek yogurt and raspberry semifreddo, first thing I'm gonna do is make coconut sablé for the base. I'm gonna put flour with salt, powdered sugar and desiccated coconut into a bowl of a food processor. Then I'm gonna add cold butter cut in dices and pulse until I get crumbly mixture. I'm gonna add egg yolk and pulse a couple of more times until the dough comes together. I'm gonna wrap my sablé into plastic foil, flatten it and put in the fridge for at least an hour to cool. I'm gonna roll my chilled dough to 5 mm, which is 3/16 of an inch thickness. I'm gonna cut 10 centimeters, which is 4 inches circles, and place them onto parchment paper-lined baking tray. I'm gonna bake my coconut sablé at 180 degrees centigrade, which is 350 Fahrenheit, for about 10 to 15 minutes until golden brown. My sablé cookies are done, and now I'm gonna brush the edges of the sablés with an egg white and dip them in desiccated coconut. I'm gonna take them back into the oven for another 2 minutes, take them out and leave them to cool completely. Now I'm gonna whip the cream to soft peaks for both semifreddo layers and put it in the fridge until needed. I'm gonna line round molds with acetate sheet. My molds are 8 centimeters, which is 3 inches in diameter, and 5 centimeters, which is 2 inches high. To make my raspberry semifreddo, I'm gonna soak gelatin in cold water and set aside. I've heated my raspberry puree and sugar in the microwave so the sugar can dissolve. Then I'm gonna add soaked gelatin and stir until mixed. I'm gonna leave this mixture to cool down. The next thing I'm gonna do is make Italian meringue. To make Italian meringue, I'm gonna place sugar and some water into a saucepan and put a lid on. I have already put egg whites into a bowl of a stand mixer fitted with whisk attachment, but I won't start whisking just yet. When my syrup boils, the steam will wash down the sugar crystals from the sides of my pan, and I'm gonna remove the lid. At that point, I'm gonna insert the probe of my digital candy thermometer into the syrup and continue cooking on medium heat. All about cooking sugar syrup you can learn from my post. The link is in the description below. When my syrup reaches 113 degrees centigrade, which is 235 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm gonna start whisking my egg whites on medium speed. When the syrup reaches 118 degrees centigrade, which is 244 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm gonna pour it into foamed egg whites carefully without turning off my mixer. It is important to pour the syrup between the whisk and the side of the bowl. Be very careful. If you pour the syrup on the whisk while it's working, that could splatter your hands or face with hot sugar syrup and you could get serious burns. Once all the syrup is inside, I'm gonna continue whisking Italian meringue until it cools down. When Italian meringue cools down, it is ready to be used. Now I'm gonna divide both Italian meringue and whipped cream in separate bowls for each layer. My raspberry mixture is cooled, so I'm gonna add Italian meringue and fold in whipped cream. I've put my Raspberry Semifreddo into a piping bag and now I'm gonna fill my molds halfway and put them into freezer to set. For Greek yogurt layer, I'm gonna combine Greek yogurt with Italian meringue and then I'm gonna add whipped cream. I'm gonna fill the molds over frozen raspberry layer all the way to the top of the mold, level with my spatula and leave everything in the freezer for a couple of hours to set. My semifreddo is frozen and all I have to do now is assemble my dessert. I have my coconut sablé and I'm gonna take my semifreddo out of the mold, place it on top of the sablé and remove the acetate strip. I'm gonna decorate with some fresh raspberries and some chopped pistachios and dig in.
Oh baby, you are so sweet, so delicious and yummy, so good to eat. I wanna lick you, feel your sweetness on my lips. Forever and ever, you'll stay on my hips.
I'm Teresa. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you liked it. If you want to stay in touch, follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and of course, visit my site where you can find elaborate posts with lots of pictures, additional information, and recipes that follow my every video. Also, on my site you can download my free 365 pages ebook The Pastry Chef and maybe buy me a macaron if you think that I've earned it. Now, before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That really helps a lot. Finally, and this is the most important thing, don't forget to create sweetness every day, because sweetness is happiness. See you in my next video. Bye!